welcome. This is the second part of the same lecture, and now we have switched to the full screen mode so that I can draw on screen for you people to get better understanding. This is a symmetrical cantilever frame. Previous one was unsymmetrical, okay, and let me show you. This was unsymmetrical. There was a column, and only the beam was only at one side. So keep it in mind and look at here. So this is the same column. This is the same BC beam. The loading is same, but there is another beam of the same length. So now on this column there are two beams of same length with the same loading at the both sides. So this is a symmetrical cantilever frame, right? So the reactions will be same, the equations will be same, but the loading will be different. The requirement is the same, that determine the reactions and draw the shear and moment diagrams. So exactly in the same manner we determine the reactions at A and then shear and moment at B. Okay. So uh, using the equilibrium equations, summation of f of x is equal to 0. So as you can see that there is no forces in x direction, so there will be no reaction in the horizontal direction, right? So Rax is equal to 0. In the y direction, this 15 kilonewton is acting downward, right? uh, 2 meter on the leftward and 2 meter on the rightward, so total length is 4 meters. So 15 into 4 is your total force acting downward, right? So 15 into 4 is a 60. So 60 kilonewton is acting upward, which is resisted by this reaction at the fixed support Ray. Okay. And the third thing is summation of moment at A is equal to 0. So this is a fixed support and it resists horizontal forces, vertical forces, and bending moment, right? So what will be the amount of bending moment? Just like in the previous case, if you remember here, that all this moment, this clockwise moment was resisted by this counterclockwise moment, right? So now uh, this force which is to the right of the uh, point A is producing clockwise moment, and this force which is to the left of this point A is producing counterclockwise force, right? And this bending moment will be cancelling out this bending moment. Why? Because the magnitude and the distance or length are same. So MA, this MA minus 15 into 2, which is this one, into 1. So this is one bending moment plus this bending moment, 15 into 2 into 1. So this bending moment will cancel out the effect of this bending moment, and as a result there will be no bending moment resisted by this support A. Okay. So this case is different than previous case. In previous case there was no reaction in horizontal direction, okay, but there was 30 kilonewton in the vertical direction force and 30 kilonewton meter bending moment. But here there is 60 kilonewton of force in the vertical direction and the bending moment is 0. So this is the main difference. Okay. Now uh, these are the reactions that I have presented to you on the previous slide. Rax is 0, Ray is 60 kilonewton, and Ma is 0. So in this case, two of the reactions are 0, and only there is a one thing, that is reaction in y direction. Once you got the reactions, then you can come to the end actions or the member forces. So as I told you in the previous video, that you have to start with the weak members. So in this case you have both member BC and member BD are the weak members. You have to start with them and then bring their forces or reactions to member AB. Okay. So at member BC, as in the previous case, 15 kilonewton meter and acting at a distance of 2 meter. So 15 into 2 will 30. So as there is nothing, no support over here, okay, so it cannot be resist here, but there is a support or a joint here which is joint B. See, so this joint is resisting basically the forces and the moments. So 15 into 2, which is resisted by joint B, and you have brought it here, 30 kilonewton. Okay, and similarly the 30 kilonewton meter bending moment. Similarly, once you are done with the BC, then come to the BD. So the same case, that the 15 into 2, 30 kilonewton, right? And the bending moment diagram, since this bending moment is acting in the counterclockwise, so the resisting will be in the clockwise, and this bending moment is acting in the clockwise, so the resisting will be in the counterclockwise. Now come to joint B. As I told you previously that once you balance or make the members in equilibrium, then you have to make the joint in equilibrium. So making the joint B in equilibrium. So 30 kilonewton is acting upward at joint B here, and 30 kilonewton at joint B is acting here. So 30 and 30, 60 kilonewton is acting upward. So in order to make it in equilibrium, the 60 kilonewton should be acting downward so that joint B should be in equilibrium. So the joint B summation of f of y is now equal to 0 because 60 minus 30 minus 30 is 0. So joint B is in equilibrium. Okay. Now coming to the bending moment. 30 kilonewton is acting clockwise and 30 kilonewton in counterclockwise. So these both will cancel each other and there will be no bending moment. So okay, joint B is in equilibrium. Now make the member AB in equilibrium. So summation of f of x is 0, no f of x. Summation of moment is 0, no moment. Summation of f of y is equal to 0. So since 60 kilonewton is acting downward, then 60 kilonewton will be resisted at support A. Now compare it with the original support reactions. So only there was 60 kilonewton in upward direction. So as the results matches and there is nothing else at point A, so it means that your analysis procedure was okay and your values are good. Coming to the diagrams, shear force diagram, just like the previous case, there will be a 1 degree shear negative in member BC, and same is the case with the member BD. Okay, no shear in member AB, only axial force was there. And similarly, the bending moment, since the shear force is 1 degree, bending moment will be 2 degree diagram. This bending moment will cancel out this bending moment. Now, there is no bending moment in the column either. As you can see, there is only axial forces in the column. So these are the two examples of the same frame, but one with the symmetric and other with the unsymmetrical configuration. Now we are done with the fixed support. Coming to the other support type or a combination, which is roller and hinge support. Okay. Now this is angle type frame segment example number 3. Why it is called as angle type, that you have only one column and one beam. The beam is supported at its end with the roller support, and the column is supported at its end with the hinge support. You have to determine the reactions and draw shear and moment diagrams. Again, we have to start with the reactions, finding the reactions at vertical reaction at C, and both the reactions at A. For example, we have only one reaction at C, which is in vertical direction. However, we have two reactions at A. One is vertical and other is horizontal. In this case, there will be no bending moment resistance either at A or C. So it simply says that take summation of moment about A is equal to 0. So both these reactions will be 0 because both are passing from here, and you will get the reaction at C. Okay. So taking moment about A is equal to 0, and you have this force 2 into 20, right, into half of the uh, it is acting at a center, right, at a 10. So 2 into 20 into 10 is this bending moment which is acting in the clockwise direction. Okay, plus 6 into 10, this 6, and this is the distance. So it is also causing bending moment in clockwise direction about point A. Both are positive, minus RC into 20, since RC is making bending moment in the anti-clockwise direction. So they have taken it as a negative. Solving this equation, you get the value of RC is equal to 23 kips, right? So now you have got the reaction at C as 23 kip. Now you know reaction at C, so simply use summation of f of x and f of y now. Summation of x is equal to 0. You have only one force in x direction and one reaction in x direction. So you have got Rax is equal to 6 kips. Summation of f of y is equal to 0. You know the RC, you know the applied load. So you will get the value of Ra into in y direction. So that is Ray minus 2 into 20, which is this applied force, plus 23. So you will get Ra is equal to 17 kips. So you know all the three reactions. Now what is next? The member forces or the end action. So these are your reactions Ray, Rax and the Rc. Okay. Next we determine the end moments and end shears for segments CB and VA using the equilibrium equations for the members. So as I told you previously that you have to start with the weaker member. Now which is the weaker member? The beam is the weaker member. Why? Because here is the roller support, okay, and here is a hinge support. So as you know that hinge support is stronger than the roller support, so you have to take start with the beam BC, solve this beam, make it in equilibrium. Once you make it in equilibrium, then solve this joint B, make it in equilibrium, and then solve the member AB. Okay, so starting with the BC, as you know that keep this in mind, or keep this in mind that there is a reaction. Okay, 23 kips of RC is applied here, and a 2 kip per feet is applied for a distance of 20 feet. Okay, so using summation of f of y, so how much force is acting downward? 2 into 20, 40 is acting downward, right? And 23 is acting upward. So how much is the left? 17, which should be acting at a joint B. So joint B is resisting 17 kips in upward direction, right? Similarly, the bending moment at point B. So this 2 into 20, 40, 40 into this half of the 20, which is 10. 400 is acting in the clockwise direction. Similarly, this 23, this is acting in the counterclockwise direction at a distance of 20. So 23 into 20 is 460, right? So this 460 minus 400 results in a bending moment of how much? 60. It means that 60 extra is acting in the uh, counterclockwise direction. So in order to resist it, a 60 kip feet bending moment should be acting in the clockwise direction. So if it is the case, then this section or this member is in equilibrium. Now you are done with this beam BC. Okay. Once the member, again, I'm telling you this thing again and again, that once you have make a member in equilibrium, then you have to satisfy that the joint at which you have applied these movements and these forces, it should be in equilibrium. So then draw the joint B, right, and up put the forces. Okay, so you had the force of 17 kip upward here, so apply a force of 17 kip downward. Similarly, you applied a bending moment of 60 kip feet in clockwise direction, then you have to apply a bending moment of 60 kip feet in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now in order to again balance this, you have balanced the joint B in horizontal direction. Okay, so you just have to transfer it in the vertical direction. So this downward should be resisted by upward, and this counterclockwise should be resisted by clockwise. So in this case, your joint B is in equilibrium. Now coming to member AB. So in member AB, just apply or resist these forces. This 17 kip upward should be resisted in the downward direction, and this clockwise should be resisted by counterclockwise bending moment. Now coming to the joint A, because you have to satisfy all the equilibriums at the joints, right? We are talking about the joints. So summation of f of y. So 17 kip is acting downward, and in order to resist it, 17 kip should be acting upward, right? We are good with the vertical forces. Now what about the bending moment? See, there is a constant bending moment of 60 kip, right? And here a force of 6 kip is acting at a distance of 10 feet. So 6 into this 10 feet in the clockwise direction and this 60 in anti-clockwise direction. So at this point there will be zero bending moment because this 6 into 10 will cancel out, this 60 will cancel out this uniform bending moment. So there will be no bending moment at hinge support. Okay, so compare these reactions: 6 kip which is equal to this and 17 kips which is equal to global equilibrium equation values. It is okay, it satisfies the values. Okay, so now lastly we generate the shear and bending moment diagrams. The maximum moment occurs in member BC. As you see that member BC, we determine its location by noting that the moment is a maximum when the shear is zero. This is the old concept, we know it from the analysis of the beams, that maximum bending moment occurs at the zero shear. And this is your beam BC. Okay, and you just took a section at any point. For example, we took a section here, and you know the support reaction which is 23 kip, you know the applied load which is 2 kip per feet. You took a section at a distance x1. Now 23 upward minus 2 into x1 which is downward, so it gives you x1 is equal to 11.5 feet, right? So 11.5 feet is that distance at which there will be zero shear force. Why we are finding this zero shear force point? Because we know that the moment is maximum. The maximum bending moment is when shear force is zero. Okay, so maximum bending moment at 11.5 feet will be how much? 23 into 11.5 in counterclockwise direction minus 2 into this is 11.5, okay, into 11.5 divided by 2 in clockwise direction. So you will get a resultant moment of 132.25 kip feet. Okay, now drawing the shear force and bending moment diagram, starting from this support 23 kip upward, which is the reaction, then the UDL will bring it to 17 kip and the reaction at B will take it upward. Okay, there is shear force diagram. There is shear force starting at 10 feet which is 6 kip. Since it is a point load, just look over here, this 6 kip. Okay, it is a point load, so the bending and the shear force diagram will be just like a 1 degree. See, it causes shear, nothing in between, and this reaction will bring it to zero. So 1 degree shear force diagram for beam and 0 degree shear force diagram for the column. Now coming to the bending moment diagram, so as you know that the roller support and the hinge support both doesn't resist the bending moment, so see the bending moments are zero. You have to start from zero, and since the shear force is 1 degree, you have to take it at 2 degree. The magnitude of shear is maximum, so the slope of the bending moment diagram will be maximum. Here the magnitude is zero, so the slope is zero. See, this is the relation between shear force and bending moment diagram. I have explained you multiple times in the class as well. So at 11.5 feet, which you have determined here mathematically, the maximum bending moment is occurring, which is 132.25, right? And after that, it is going downward up to 60 kip feet. And this 60 kip feet is resisted by here, the 60 kip feet of column. Up to this point, there was no force, so the 0 degree bending moment diagram. And after that, this shear force diagram is 0 degree, so this bending moment will be 1 degree, and it will bring it to zero. So this is your bending moment diagram for the frame. Right, going to the example number 4, simply supported portal frame. Okay, so this frame is different from the previous one because the previous frame had only one column and one beam. However, in this case we have two columns and one beam, so this is called a portal frame. Okay, again the same requirement, the same procedure. We start with the support reactions, take moment about A as 0, so you have only RD and the external force. So 1 into 32, 32 is your length about A, okay, and our what will be the half distance 16. So 1 into 32 into 16 is the this direction, right, which is clockwise, plus 2 into 20, this 2, and what is this distance? This is 20, its perpendicular distance 20, and it is also causing clockwise, right, minus RD into 32, RD, this is RD, and it is causing anti-clockwise, so they have taken it as a negative, okay. So from this equation you have got RD is equal to 17.25, you got this reaction as 17.25. Now summation of f of x, so RAX, there is only one applied force which is 2 kip at this point, so RAX will be equal to 2, and summation of f of y, one is the applied force, one is the reaction, you know both of them, so you can determine the RAY. What is RAY? One this is downward, so they have taken it as a negative 1 into 32 plus 17 into 25, so there is a remaining is 14.75, okay. So you have determined all the three support reactions. Now you can move to the members. Now from which member you will start? Again, as I told you previously, that you have to start with the weaker member. Now in this case the weaker member is CD, because joint D is the roller support, however joint A is a hinge support, and hinge support is stronger than the roller support, so you have to start with the member CD, then move to BC, and then finally bring it to AB, okay. These are your reactions against the applied forces. Isolating the individual members and enforcing equilibrium leads to end forces and moments shown on next slide. So start with the CD. You had this force or reaction at joint D, right, which was a support reaction. So putting all the three equilibrium equations, there is no f of x, there is no moment, there is only f of y. So f of y upward, so at joint C there will be f of y downward, right. Now making the joint C in equilibrium, if you are applying downward here, then there should be upward force, so the joint C is in equilibrium in the column. Now coming in the beam, so if upward force of 17.25 is acting upward, then there should be a 17.25 keep downward, so the joint C is in equilibrium now. Now when moving to the member BC, so if there is 17.25 downward here, then it should be applied as upward here, right. Let me tell you one thing, that you can if you want to, then you can draw these joints just like here and in previous example. For example, here you have drawn, or you can opt for the method we have used in example 1 and 2. For example, in example 2c we didn't draw the joint separately, and in example 1 also. So we have directly shifted from member to member and make the joint in equilibrium. So either you can use the method of example 1 and 2, where we didn't for example, if I draw the joint B, for example this is joint B, okay, so 30 kilonewton is acting upward, I will apply 30 kilonewton downward, right, and here is downward, so I will apply here upward, and here is upward, so here is the downward. So this is how they have done in the example 3 and 4. It is solely your choice. If you want to draw the joint separately, you can go for it. Okay, now at point C in the beam, there is 17.25 upward. So see, you have basically shifted this reaction to this point, because the load is applied in the beam, not in the column, right? Summation of f of x, no f of x, summation of f of y. So, okay, another thing, keep in mind that you didn't apply this external force, okay, because this cannot be resisted by the beam. You have to keep in mind that this have to be resisted by the joint B, and still you are not you are not done with the joint member BC. So once you are done with the member BC, you have to go to the joint B. Okay, so 17.25 is acting upward, 1 into 32 is acting downward. So 32 minus 17.25 is the remaining of 14.75 at joint B. Also, this force is causing a bending moment in clockwise direction, and this force is causing bending moment in anti-clockwise direction. The resultant will be the anti-clockwise 40 kip, and you have to resist this, so you have to apply the 40 kip fit of bending moment in the clockwise direction. Okay, this is your final bending moment and final force at joint B. Now make the joint B in equilibrium, draw the joint B. If there is upward force here, so you have to apply downward force here, and the clockwise bending moment, so you have to apply anti-clockwise bending moment. Okay, and see, you have applied the external horizontal force, because now you are talking about joint B. So coming to the column now, in the column you have to resist all this. So downward will be resisted by upward, anti-clockwise will be resisted by clockwise, and this external force will be resisted by this one in the column. Okay, in the column AB. So now you have make the joint B in equilibrium. You are done with the joint B. So go to the member AB or the column AB. Apply all these forces in opposite direction. For example, upward will be downward, clockwise will be anti-clockwise, and rightward will be leftward. So you have to resist all these forces at A. Now 14.75 downward will be resisted by upward, 2 to the rightward will be resisted by 2 to the leftward. The bending moment produced by this couple, this force of 2, and what is the perpendicular distance? This is 20. So 2 into 20 is 40. 40 is produced in the clockwise direction, which will be resisted by this anti-clockwise 40 kPa. So there will be no bending moment at point A. And as we know that the hinge support cannot resist bending moment. Again, we locate the maximum moment in member just like the previous case, and we have to find x1 where the shear force is 0. So this is in this time this is 17.25 feet. So a maximum moment at 17.25 feet is 148.78 kPa. So drawing the shear force and bending moment diagram starting from here 17.25 going downward, here it is 0 at 17.25, and all the way to 14.25, which is registered here. The shear force in this column is only 2 kip since the 2 was applied here. Okay, the external force, and this applied moment force is resisted at this support, so there is a shear of 2 kip in this column. Okay, and there is no shear because this support cannot resist any horizontal forces. And coming to the bending moment, so zero bending moment here, and it is increasing with a 2 degree because this is a 1 degree curve. The slope is maximum here and the slope is 0 here, right? So uh, we have determined the maximum bending moment, we have determined the distance at which it will happen, and it is coming to the 40 kPa, which is registered at this joint, and the same is registered over here 40 kPa, and it is coming to 0.